Stop everything you were doing right now. The Nancy Guthrie investigation, the case that has kept the entire world paralyzed with fear and suspicion, has just suffered a catastrophic forensic explosion. Just 1 minute ago, a leaked memo from the highest levels of the FBI's Regional Crime Lab confirmed our worst fears. The DNA evidence is a lie. The black glove, the smoking gun that every news outlet from CNN to Fox News claimed would end this mystery, has been officially debunked as a plant. It's not just a mistake, it's a setup. But as the physical evidence crumbles into dust, the digital world has just screamed back. 4 explosive, never-before-seen leaked footages have just hit the dark web, and they don't just show a kidnapper, they reveal a coordinated, high-stakes shadow team that has been hunting Nancy Guthrie since long before she vanished. We are talking about tactical gear, decoy fleets, and a level of surveillance that suggests a professional hit, not a random crime. You cannot skip a single second of this breakdown because we are decoding the raw transcripts that prove a shadow team was watching Nancy long before the world knew her name. The energy in this investigation just took a massive hit, and what I'm about to show you is going to change everything you thought you knew about Nancy's disappearance. If you think you're safe, think again. The hunt hasn't ended. It's just become a war. To understand the sheer magnitude of today's betrayal, we have to look back at the life of Nancy Guthrie and the web of secrets that has always surrounded her family. Nancy wasn't just a beloved grandmother and mother to a media icon. She was the pillar of a family that lived under the constant, harsh glare of the public eye. But beneath the surface of the Guthrie success, there has always been a simmering tension, a history of stalkers, obsessive fans, and shadowy figures who seemed a bit too interested in their private lives. For years, the Guthrie family handled security with a low-profile approach, believing that their kindness and community standing would protect them. But insiders are now coming forward with chilling stories of near misses that happened months before the abduction. Remember the suspicious utility worker who was seen lingering near the Tucson property last November? Or the strange white van that Nancy herself reported to neighbors 3 weeks before she was taken? Law enforcement brushed these off as routine, but in hindsight, these weren't coincidences. They were dry runs. The world watched in horror on that fateful night when the silence of the Arizona desert was shattered. The initial narrative was simple: a lone wolf, a desperate criminal. But as the days turned into weeks, that story started to leak. The investigation was plagued by misplaced files and conflicting witness statements. There has always been a sense that someone on the inside, someone with access to police frequencies or geofence data, was staying one step ahead of the FBI. This drama was bound to explode because you cannot keep a conspiracy this large buried forever. The Guthrie case wasn't just a kidnapping, it was a ticking bomb of forensic corruption and professional stalking. And today, that bomb just went off. Early this morning, March 6, 2026, the investigation was thrown into a state of total forensic chaos. For days, the media has been obsessed with the black glove found 2 miles from the scene. Every expert on television claimed that the DNA on that glove was the key to Nancy's location, but the leaked lab report tells a terrifyingly different story. The DNA belongs to a local restaurant worker who has a rock-solid alibi. The glove was planted. Think about the level of cold-blooded planning required to steal a piece of trash from a local worker and place it perfectly in a search grid to lead the FBI in the wrong direction. This realization sent shockwaves through the command center. One insider source described the scene as total panic, with agents realizing they had wasted hundreds of man-hours chasing a ghost. But the twist gets even darker. While the police were distracted by the glove, a series of leaked messages from a burner phone, allegedly belonging to a member of the security detail, surfaced on a private whistleblower forum. The messages read, "The bait worked. They're at the 2-mile marker. Clear the desert road now." This proves that the kidnappers weren't just running, they were watching the police in real time. They used the DNA as a tactical distraction to move Nancy. The betrayal is sickening. The very evidence meant to save her was the tool used to hide her deeper in the shadows. Just as the FBI realized they had been played, the first of the 4 footages leaked, showing a man in tactical gear, carrying 2 separate backpacks, moving with military precision near the Guthrie gate just 19 minutes before the hit. Why 2 bags? One for his gear and one for Nancy? The escalation didn't stop at the gate. As the DNA news broke, social media platforms like X and TikTok began exploding with citizen sleuth sightings that the FBI had tried to suppress. This leads to the second and third leaked footages, the Goatee Scout and the Decoy Fleet. The Goatee Scout footage, verified by independent forensic analysts, shows a man performing professional reconnaissance 8 days before the hit. He wasn't just walking, he was testing the response time of the porch lights. But the real shocker? The Decoy Fleet captured at 2:36 a.m. on a neighbor's Ring camera. This wasn't one getaway car, it was a convoy of 12 identical dark SUVs moving in a synchronized starburst pattern. A leaked geofence data packet suggests that these vehicles were all pinging off burner towers simultaneously to flood the digital grid. This is a tactic used by elite private military contractors, not street criminals. The industry backlash has been fierce. Private security experts are appearing on news loops claiming that the FBI is completely outmatched by a shadow team that likely has more funding than the local police department. A fake Twitter thread from an account claiming to be a disillusioned operative posted, "You're looking for a person, you should be looking for a corporation. Nancy is the currency." This sent the internet into a tailspin. Is Nancy Guthrie being held for more than just ransom? Is this a corporate extraction? Just as these questions began to circulate, a 4th footage emerged from a desert road trail cam, showing a flash of a blue sedan, the same one the FBI impounded. But here's the cliffhanger. The driver in the footage is wearing a uniform that looks hauntingly like local law enforcement. The angle has reached a fever pitch of anger and heartbreak. On one side, the Searchers, a group of millions of online supporters, are demanding the immediate resignation of the sheriff, accusing the department of being complicit in the shadow team operation. On the other side, conspiracy theorists are claiming the Guthrie family is hiding something, pointing to Savannah Guthrie's silent, ghostly appearance at the Today Show studios as proof of a secret negotiation. Fake fan debates are clogging every comment section. One viral post with 500,000 likes reads, "If the FBI can't tell the difference between a kidnapper's glove and a waiter's trash, how can we trust them to find Nancy? Hashtag justice for Nancy. Hashtag the shadow team is real." Celebrity reactions have poured in, with major stars expressing terror that if a high-profile family like the Guthries can be targeted by a professional squad, no one is safe. The industry is divided too. Retired CIA operatives are clashing with FBI spokespeople on live TV, arguing whether the Rat, the mysterious blackmailer demanding 1 Bitcoin, is a member of the shadow team or just a greedy opportunist. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Every time a new leak happens, the divide grows. Is this a kidnapping or is it a message? The final statement from a leaked internal FBI memo today says it all. We are no longer in control of the narrative. The shadow team is the one holding the camera now. But here is the final, most soul-crushing twist of the day. As the world focused on the desert and the DNA, a raw transcript from an off-camera moment at the Today Show studios has just been leaked. It wasn't what Savannah Guthrie said, it's what she received. According to a high-level source inside the studio, a courier delivered a package to Savannah that never was logged by security. Inside was reportedly a single Ozark Trail hiker pack, the same brand used by the double backpack man, and a burner phone that started ringing the second it touched her hand. Savannah was seen collapsing into a chair, ashen-faced, before being rushed out of the building. This changes everything. The shadow team isn't just in Arizona, they're in New York. They are everywhere. The leaked footage of the Goatee Scout wasn't just a scout, it was a warning. And the most terrifying part? The double backpack man wasn't carrying 2 bags because he was taking someone away.
The second bag was found discarded near a drainage pipe an hour ago, and it wasn't empty. It contained Nancy's medical ID and a note that simply said the DNA was just the beginning. The real trade happens tonight. The drama is far from over. In fact, it's just reached its most dangerous phase. Who is the shadow team really working for, and what is the real trade? The clock is ticking, and the world is holding its breath. We are at a turning point in the Nancy Guthrie case, and your voice needs to be heard. The shadow team is watching the news, but they are also watching the comments. What do you think was in that package delivered to Savannah Guthrie? Was it a final demand or a piece of evidence the FBI missed? And more importantly, do you believe there is a mole inside the investigation who planted that DNA evidence? We need to keep this video moving to expose the goat